Let's see that. Make it go in the face. For day two of our gratitude practice. I hope so. I hope y'all are excited. I hope y'all are finding it easy to follow along. Let me put my phone on silent. How's everybody holding up? Um, Drop me some comments in the chat section. Somebody say hi to me. Somebody say hi. Let's see what happens if I type so. Nothing. Quite fine. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And so, it occurred to me yesterday that I'm going to need to really kind of give this thing its own schedule. So, starting tomorrow, I'm going to start actually going live at a specific time. And I realize that needs to be pretty early in the morning, just in case folks are not in California. Of course, California, we laid back, we cool. You know, we ain't in a rush to get nowhere, so our time is a little bit different. So I'm gonna start doing it in the morning. I wake up really early in the morning anyway. But to be honest, this past week, my schedule's been off. Everybody's schedule has been off. But I just kind of took this past week, and today is the start of the new week. Because Sunday is the beginning of the week for me. But last week I just took an opportunity to slow down, and true to my Cancerian nature, and just give myself an opportunity to move real indirectly, real sideways, like we like to do. Just needed an opportunity to do that. My daughter is also a Cancer. Our birthdays are 11 days apart, and so she, like me, that's my other twin. So anyway, oh, I'm all over the place. So let's jump into day two of our gratitude practice. So again, we are reading The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. A very excellent, very powerful tool that I was just inspired to share um, during these challenging times. So again, if you have your own hard copy of this book, you're able to order one and get it rather quickly, do so. I also have a digital copy of this book that I'm happy to email to you. Just drop me a note and let me know that you need it. Give me an email address and I'll shoot it over to you. But really, this sort of practice specifically is designed so that you don't need the book. I read a chapter to you every single day. That's my commitment. And I do the practices we're doing the practices together. So um, just, I'm still thinking about just kind of like this timing thing and how I'm going to do all of this because um, right now, outside of this particular practice, I'm in meditation for about 40 minutes a day, 40 minutes in the morning, a very specific, some very specific practices that I'm working on. And then, so that is something that is a priority for me. I'm going to continue to do it. So I'm just thinking around that, or considering that as I think about, okay, then I'm also going to need to institute time for this specific practice. So I am for sure going to do this earlier in the morning. It's 9:45 my time right now. So I'm thinking I'm going to be shooting for about 6 a.m. West Coast time. So we'll see how that goes. And again, I make these available after I'm done with the live, so you can always follow along at your own pace. Um, yeah, y'all ready? So, to recap, so yesterday, what you should have done thus far, because technically, including the prep day, today is technically day 3. So, for the prep day, what you should have done was to write out your list of goals. Um, and in writing out that list of goals, you should also be looking for what is the feeling that I'm aiming for. So if you say, I don't know, one of my first, not one of my first big concentrated, deliberate manifestation was when I started working with the Imagination Gurus or the Priesthood back in 20, I think late 2016 is when I became a member of the group. And then, so with so it was November of 2016 that I became a member of the group. So I had to, figure out what my goal was. So my first big goal, and because, I say intentional goal because we're always manifesting things. We just, many times as humans, we're not observant enough to recognize that we're creating our reality. So the first time that I was intentional in doing that was when I started working with the priesthood. So my first goal was I wanted to manifest $10,000. $10,000 was a lot of money to me back then. But I wanted 10K. So I started in November of 2016, and then I manifested that 10K in April of 2017. So it was about 5 months it took me to manifest that. Um, um, and what was my point in saying all of that? Because I was talking about the goals that you should have done for the prep. And so so you want to think about, okay, what's the feeling? What's the end goal here, right? Because it's not just about the $10,000. What is it really that you're looking to get by receiving that $10,000? Is there a feeling of peace and that is going to provide, because now you can pay off maybe some debt or something that's been, haunting you? Is that going to provide you some sense of peace? Is it going to provide you a sense of freedom? Is it going to provide you some perceived happiness? What is the end goal, right? So you write out your list, and there's no limit to how long this list can be. Later on in the book, we're going to be instructed to extract our top 10 and focus on those. So don't worry about how long your list is. Just concern yourself with how thorough it is. It should be really, really specific goals, not I want a lot of money. What's a lot of money? Because a lot of money to you might not be a lot of money to me, or vice versa. So be very specific in your goals and intentions. Yesterday was day 1 of the practice. What you should have done yesterday was to locate yourself a journal or a notebook. So this is my notebook, and it's the one that I used for when I did the practice back in January. And so this is how much my sissy bought me this. This is one of my Christmas gifts from her. She got me a little note inside. And it was perfect because I started my 28-day gratitude practice in December, finished it in January. And so this is how much of the book I actually used, y'all. So I'm telling you, you're gonna need a lot of space. Don't go get no little tiny little notebook, because that's not going to work. You're going to need almost a full notebook. So I'm going to finish mine. I'm going to finish this one off and then get myself another notebook to finish off this particular practice. But I always hang on to my journals, y'all, because you're going to want to look back and see, what did you accomplish and what's still left to be done. So like in the front of mine, here's my wish list. um, um, This last time that I did it, I was really specific about the weight because I had been working on my body goals, and it was something I had been working on for a while. For a minute, I couldn't lose any weight, and then bada bing, bada boom. Um, my goal weight was 134 pounds, and I wanted to oscillate around there, and I've been doing exactly that. And I say oscillate because I know that I'll generally fluctuate about within 3 pounds of a particular weight. Funny enough, I was actually often oscillating on the lower end of that. So I was below my goal weight for a minute, but y'all don't want to hear about that. Um, I'm just kind of I'm just kind of looking quickly at some of the goals that I had, and some of them I've already manifested. One of them was a goal for my income for 2020. So I haven't had a chance to manifest it completely yet, but you can also break that down into monthly, weekly, daily goals, even if you want to. But just be really specific about your goals. So yesterday you should have gotten your journal and you should have written down your first 10 gratitudes. I am thankful for blank because blank. And then after you write your list of 10, you read through your list of 10 out loud or in your head. And after each gratitude, you say the magic words 3 times. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. So this you're going to do every day. So you started it yesterday. You should also do it this morning. First thing today, write down your new list of 10 gratitudes for today. Reread it. Thank you, thank you, thank you at the end of each one. Okay. So now let's move on to day 2. And it took me almost 12 minutes just to get through the recap. I talk a lot. It's okay. All right. So day 2, the magic rock. Um, Reflect upon your present blessings, of which every man has plenty, not on your past misfortunes, of which all men have some. Charles Dickens, writer 1812 to 1870. In the beginning of working with these practices, it takes concentrated days in a row to make gratitude a habit. Anything that reminds you to be grateful is helping you turn your life into gold with gratitude. And that's exactly what this magical practice is about. Lee Brower presented the gratitude rock practice in The Secret film and book. When he told us the story of the father of a dying child who used a gratitude rock to be grateful for his son's health, and his son made a miraculous recovery. Since then, the gratitude rock has been a proven success with many people the world over who have used it for money, healing, and happiness. First, find a rock or a stone. Choose a small size that fits in the palm of your hand and that you can close your fingers around. Choose a rock that is smooth, without sharp edges, not too weighty, and that feels really good in your hand when you hold it. Feeling is so important, y'all. You can find a magic rock from your garden if you have one, or from a riverbed, creek, ocean, or park. If you don't have easy access to any of these places, then ask your neighbors, family, or friends. You may even have a precious rock or stone already that you can use as your magic rock. When you have found your magic rock, put it by your bedside in a place where you will definitely see it when you go to bed. Clear some space if necessary so that you can easily see your magic rock when you go to bed. If you use an alarm clock, put it next to your alarm clock. Tonight, just before you get into bed to go to sleep, pick up your magic rock, hold it in the palm of your hand, and close your fingers around it. Think back carefully through all the good things that happened during the day and find the best thing that happened that you're grateful for. Then say the magic words, thank you, for the best thing that happened. Return the magic rock to its place by your bed, and that's it. So you're going to also do this practice every day, y'all. Um, every night for the next 26 days, follow the same magic rock practice. Before you go to sleep, think back through the day and find the best thing that happened that day. While holding your magic rock in your hands, be as grateful as you can for that thing and say thank you. Using a rock seems like such a simple thing to do, but through this practice, you will see magical things begin to happen in your life. When you look for the best thing that happened during the day, you will search through many good things that happened. And in the process of searching and then deciding on the best one, you are actually thinking of many things that you're grateful for. You will also be ensuring that you go to sleep and wake up in gratitude each day. And I'm gonna come back to this, y'all. The Count Your Blessings and Magic Rock practices will ensure that you begin and end each day in a state of gratitude. In fact, there are they're so powerful that together they will change your life in a few months. But this book is designed to change your life really fast through an abundance of magical practices. Because gratitude is magnetic and attracts more things to be grateful for, the concentration of gratitude over 28 days will intensify the magnetic force of your gratitude. When you have a strong magnetic force of gratitude, like magic, you automatically magnetize everything you want and need to you. So I wanted to just go back quickly to what she's talking about, how these two practices, one practice right before you go to bed and the other one practice um, is one of the first things that you do in the morning, allowing, they give you space to focus the mind on gratitude. And it's a magnet. The more things that you find yourself being grateful for, the more things you attract to yourself to be grateful for. And I think in one of the other videos, I spoke to my own practices, and a lot of them are sort of edits of practices that I found in this book, or they're based on the same idea or principle. Y'all, it is so super important that it's important to be conscious of the thoughts that you're thinking. Choose your thoughts wisely. Um, that is easier said than done for sure, and it takes tons and tons of practice. Um, One good way to begin building up to, because it's really a matter of observation. But one, this practice that she's talking about, these two practices that she's discussed with the magic rock and with the daily gratitudes in the morning, are just really good practices, because a good way to start is to deal specifically with your state of mind, your state of being just before you doze off to sleep, and your state of mind and state of being as soon as you wake up in the morning. So make it a habit to immediately start thinking of positive things when you wake up in the morning, because if you just stop and just observe yourself for a little while, you'll notice that when you wake up in the morning, your brain is like, where am I, what's going on, who am I, what do I need to be doing right now? And you need to give it a command that is conducive to the life that you want to live. A lot of us will, okay, what's today, what's happening, I just woke up, what's going on, where am I? And then we start thinking about, okay, let me figure out where I am. And in order to do that, what happened yesterday? And especially if we had a bad day yesterday, we start thinking about all of those things. And then we start our day exactly where we left off at. But if you're using gratitude practices, if you're using positive practices to keep your mind focused on, then what happens is, again, these practices are magnetic. The thoughts that you think create your reality. So um, your mood, your feeling is so important. Try to be in a good mood as often as possible. And when you catch yourself not in a good mood, the different tools and techniques that you're going to pick up in this book, even the first two that you've already picked up so far, will be immensely helpful in helping you to stay focused, and especially in the times that we're in right now, where there's so much chaos and so much uncertainty around us. That's why I'm doing this practice, is because I want to contribute something positive. I want to contribute positive information. So yeah, get your mind right, get your mind right, get your money right. So yeah, I'm gonna flip to this because it's over. We finished the first chapter. However, there's always the reminders at the end. And so it says, be sure to read tomorrow's magical practice. Sometimes today you will need to collect some photographs before you begin. So here we are again, where you got to read the next chapter the day before so that you can do the preparation. So what I'll start to do now is I will be sure to read practice number 3. I'll record the video for this a little bit later on today so that y'all can prep for it. And that's the way I'll do it. I'll do it then in the evening, sometime late in the day when we have to do a pre-read. Okay. So just as a reminder, what is today's magical practice? What are we supposed to do? Magic Rock. So number 1, repeat steps 1 to 3 of magical practice number 1, which is counting our blessings. Make a list of 10 blessings, write why you're grateful, reread your list, and at the end of each blessing, say thank you, thank you, thank you, and feel as grateful for that blessing as you can. Number 2, find a magic rock and put it by your bedside. 3, before going to sleep tonight, hold your magic rock in your hand and think of the best thing that happened today. 4, say the magic words, thank you for the best thing that happened today. And 5, repeat the magic rock practice every night for the next 26 days. So we have 2 practices that we do every single day in addition to the other practices. And some of these practices are going to be real short and sweet, y'all. I promise. It's not going to take a whole lot of time to do any of these practices. Probably the longest practice you'll have to do is your 10 daily gratitudes. And then number 6, we got to read tomorrow's practice today. So I will be back a little bit later on. I have some things I need to do, but I'll be sure to read practice number 3 for us. And today you're just collecting your magic rock. Do y'all want to see my magic rock? Got it. Okay, so this little rock right here is the one that I used for my January gratitude practice that I did. It's super small. My daughter is a rock collector, so she loves finding rocks. So this one, I know it came from her. I think she may have found it when we went to Aspen. I think that's where she got this rock from. I'm not 100% certain, but I know it's a dolly rock. I'm not going to be using this rock for this practice. This time I'm using crystals. And usually, I think when I do this practice, I usually do use crystals. This is an old, I must have made this maybe like 2003, something like that, like a really long time ago. But the function of it was kind of like a prayer wheel, I guess. And so I've got some clear quartz on here. I think it's a little rose quartz on here. Some amethyst, some lapis, and then a big piece of jade here at the bottom. I just like how it feels in my hand, so I'm going with it. And I can be really bad at following directions sometimes, like intentionally. I just don't like to follow instructions. So y'all excuse me. But yes, I mean, something like this can work. And then it like goes around my hand too. And I just like how it feels. And I think that's more important than anything. Does it feel good to you? So because you got to use this thing every day. So yeah, get out there, y'all, go find your rock. And I will see you a little bit later on today so that I can read practice 3 for us. So maybe what I'll do is just read what we need. I mean, it just feels like a little bit of a cheat for me if I do 2 in one day, because I'm gonna still want to come back and read one tomorrow for you. So we'll figure it out. But either way, you'll see a new video up in addition to this one today so that we can prep for day 3. And maybe tomorrow also share some of my gratitudes with y'all. So have a magnificent, peaceful, joyful, powerful, loving, abundant, prosperous day. Productive. And I will see y'all later on, family. Peace. Oh, hit like, share, subscribe. Tell somebody else about this. Let me know if y'all are joining me for the practice. Send me some good vibes, some comments down in the bottom, and let me know how things are going. Cool. See you later.